Broncos country, we got some interesting news on the rumor mill. Von Miller is expected to be released from the Buffalo Bills, has a big time cap number coming out. They can save a ton of money by cutting him. And the rumors are swirling. You know, Von always talks about the Broncos as if he's still a Bronco, which he is, obviously. He's always talking about we when mentioning the Broncos. Bronco for life. Does it make sense to bring him back? 35 years old. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like and subscribe. I want to hear what you guys have to say, but let's go ahead and get into it. So, Von Miller, okay, expected to be a free agent. How did he do this year? You know, he was suspended for, I think, like 4 games or so and finished the year, you know, with 11 tackles, 6 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, and 30 pressures, or 40 total pressures. So still fairly productive on 332 total snaps on defense. You can see his run grade was still very, very good at 65.5, and his pass rush grade at 84.5 was fantastic. And it's for this reason that I really do feel like Von Miller, if released, he's going to be still signing a very nice contract for like a 1 year deal if he wants to continue to play somewhere. Uh, if we look at kind of who we would compare him to or different roles that he would take, I would say that he's probably taking the role from either Jonah Ellis or Dondre Tillman as one of those first guys to rotate in on the edge, or at the edge position. You know, Jonah Ellis, he was just as good as some of the edge first round picks in this past year's draft. When you look at sacks, pressures, all those things, tackles, he was fantastic. 441 snaps, 6 sacks. So same thing as Von Miller, which is interesting. Only 20 total pressures though, but it was a little bit more efficient and had a lot more tackles. Obviously, 25 total tackles. Run grade, which is kind of his forte, it's right around there with Von Miller, 64.7. Pass rush grade, he's got some ways to go, but again, 6 total sacks. That's awesome. That's a solid way to start out your career. And then when we look at Dondre Tillman, a guy that we signed from the UFL, he was fantastic. 6 sacks or 5 total sacks. A little bit more of a part-time player, wasn't always active. 275 snaps on the year, 5 sacks. A great run defense grade, 69.2. Good pass rush grade, 64.5. And he had 23 tackles on the season. This is somebody, Dondre Tillman, who is a restricted or early rights free agent, restricted free agent. So basically, we're going to be able to bring him back on like a vet minimum. He is team controlled, as well as, Jonah Ellis. He is on a 3rd-round pick contract right now. So very, very affordable, very cheap. And we have Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper as our starters. And so really, I think maybe if Vaughn came back on like a vet minimum type of deal, I could be open to it, maybe. But when you also factor in Drew Sanders, if he's going to play edge, like I just don't think that Von Miller, with what he brings to this team, is exactly what we need right now. He's a player who is, as much as I love him, his game isn't getting any better. While Dondre Tillman, Jonah Ellis, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, they are all still rising. They're all still improving every single year. And I want to see them to continue to develop. They need snaps in order to do that. You guys know we do have a fair amount of cap space that we can spend, which is awesome. But I would not be okay spending, $10 million, $8 million on like a rotational edge to where we're already very strong at right now. So I think it's best, man. As much as I love Vaughn, I'm more of the fan or like from the perspective of let's, keep our eras separate, so to speak. Von Miller, that was one era. He won the Super Bowl with Peyton, all those things. He was fantastic. Let that era be. Let that be his legacy. We are in a new era right now, led by Bo Nix, led by our rising stars on defense. And let's see what can become of these players. That's what I want to see. So I believe Von Miller should retire as a Bronco. My hope is that he does that, signs a one-day contract to do that. I think he will go in as a Bronco, obviously, played his best ball with us. He's going to have his number retired. I believe that. But let's let his legacy stand for what it is. I know this might be an unpopular decision, but it's a new era. We have a young team. Let's see how these players grow into themselves. How much better they can get. Now, you could say, well, Von could be a really strong mentor, Dave, to these guys, and that is true. So again, I'm open if he wants to serve as that mentor. But again, this isn't going to be like a DeMarcus Ware type of mentorship. I don't think, and it's because I think you could argue that we got probably 2 to 3 edge players that are already better than him right now for much less until Nick Bonino signs that contract extension, right? Which he should be given here soon. So, and if we are going to keep a 5th edge or a 6th edge, where depending on what you consider Drew Sanders to be, that means we're going to have to, keep another position less than what we'd want. So is that going to be 5 wide receivers? Is that only going to be 3 tight ends? Are we going to keep 8 offensive linemen, 7 offensive linemen? I don't like that. So how many defensive line? Only 6? We'll have to see. But right now, I just don't think that work. I got a Von Miller jersey, guys. I love Von. But right now, I think that would be a luxury type of signing. With right now, we need to devote our money towards safety, linebacker, running back, wide receiver, and of course, tight end. In no particular order, I would say that those are our biggest areas of need. And Von doesn't really fill any of those. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I wrong on this? Did I ruffle the feathers of Broncos country? Y'all let me know. I'll be back with some more draft content here soon, guys. Appreciate it as always. Go Broncos.